R. Kelly, Beyoncé was on that island where they were killing kids. Beyoncé was on island. Beyonce.
Probably one of the biggest rituals, that we'll have, besides going the other direction.
The other direction?
Yeah. Yes.
Before. It sounds like everything I look at, so if Jay-Z was over there, I think Beyonce, the list I seen, they must got a secret society or something.
It was a long list of people, man.
And they all was famous.
Erykah Badu allegedly just dropped a bombshell about Beyoncé and Jay-Z's secret trips to Epstein Island. This shocking revelation has everyone buzzing. Could this be the ultimate scandal that shakes the entertainment world to its core? Beyoncé and Jay-Z, the power couple we all admire, have they been hiding dark secrets all along?
Look, y'all talk all that about R. Kelly. Beyonce was on that island where they was killing kids. Beyonce was on island.
It's hard to imagine Beyoncé and Jay-Z involved in the dark, twisted world of Epstein Island. What were they doing there? And why haven't they spoken out against these accusations?
Before. It sounds like everything I look at, so if Jay-Z was over there, I think Beyonce, the list I seen, they must got a secret society or something.
It was a long list of people, man.
And they all was famous.
And then there are the rumors of sacrifices. Are these just wild conspiracy theories, or is there something more sinister going on? Could Beyoncé and Jay-Z really be involved in something so terrifying? What's even worse is Kanye West's explosive claim about Diddy being an FBI informant fit.
Ain't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got talks is because you did a deal, you fucking fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna go pull my coat up.
How are these stories connected? Could Diddy's alleged role as an informant explain why Jay-Z and Beyoncé have stayed silent? Let's dive deep into this scandal. First, let's tackle the Epstein Island rumors. Beyoncé and Jay-Z have faced controversy before, but this is on another level. There have been whispers for years, but now serious allegations are coming to light. Corey Holcomb, in a now viral interview, claimed he saw Beyoncé and Jay-Z on Epstein's infamous island. But what were they doing there? And why haven't they addressed these accusations? In the controversial interview, Holcomb didn't hold back, accusing the superstar couple of being involved in some shocking activities. His statements have sparked widespread debate and raised eyebrows across the entertainment industry.
Everybody going to see Beyonce, but let me tell you something. I think it is highly offensive for people who are smart enough to really know what's happening.
Holcomb's tirade began with his disdain for the public's adoration of Beyoncé, questioning the morality behind her fame. He then launched into a more serious accusation involving the notorious Epstein Island.
Y'all talking about R. Kelly. Beyonce was on that island where they was killing kids.
This was the first bombshell, linking Beyoncé to the infamous island known for its association with Jeffrey Epstein. Holcomb didn't mince words, alleging that both Beyoncé and Jay-Z were present on the island.
Beyonce and the camel.
Yeah. They said she was in there like, uh-oh, 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 uh-oh.
Right.
I hope I can go see her again.
She was singing to little kids. If you like it, put your mouth on it.
Holcomb further insinuated that Beyoncé's presence on the island was not just a visit, but a deeper involvement, mocking the idea that she was performing inappropriate acts.
Like, you give her a pass. You give her a pass. She can have a concert and everything after she's a known participant on Paris Island.
Here, Holcomb criticized the media and public for allegedly giving Beyoncé a pass despite her supposed involvement in such scandalous activities, drawing a stark comparison to how other celebrities are treated.
It's like people want to dismiss it. That's why you can't tell me nothing about what the media say about nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the media is going to make a bad guy out of whoever they want to be the bad guy.
Holcomb expressed his distrust in the media, arguing that they manipulate narratives to protect certain individuals while vilifying others. He contrasted this with how R. Kelly has been portrayed, suggesting a double standard.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are linked to Island. What? Huh? No, you ain't got nothing to say, do you? But R. Kelly, the bad guy.
Continuing his argument, Holcomb repeated his claim about Beyoncé and Jay-Z's connection to the island, challenging his audience to reconsider their perceptions of the music icons versus R. Kelly. Holcomb downplayed R. Kelly's actions, which have been widely condemned, and suggested that the alleged actions of Beyoncé and Jay-Z were far worse.
This is what's out there by multiple people that they were part.
It's
Look, it's a lot of out there who get that information about who was out there on that island.
In any case, victims are now speaking out, sharing their horrifying experiences and pointing fingers at the elite visitors to the island. In a chilling series of TikTok videos, a woman claims to expose a new figure reminiscent of Jeffrey Epstein, a billionaire bar owner allegedly operating a similar exploitation ring in Los Angeles. The allegations have surfaced through a viral video and a flood of responses from victims.
The Next Epstein is a bar owner and he lives in LA. So I posted a video that went viral. Thousands of comments poured in, essentially saying "Me Too" nationally, and also in my DMs. I started to put
shedding light on a deeply troubling operation. The whistleblower began investigating this individual after receiving thousands of comments and direct messages from women sharing their horrific experiences. Many victims described being lured under the pretense of legitimate job opportunities, only to find themselves in dangerous situations.
As more and more comments started pouring in, there was especially a couple that really drew my attention, and one girl and I started DMing and I started asking her more information. She, in explicit detail, explained to me.
One victim detailed her encounter vividly. She responded to an ad for a personal assistant position and was invited for drinks by the owner, which seemed normal given the nightlife setting. However, the night took a dark turn when she was taken to a house and did. She recounted seeing other young women there, suggesting a pattern of exploitation.
Vulnerability. This job was supposed to be for a personal assistant position, so after drinks, he takes her back to the house that she presumes is his, and he's gonna run down on her responsibilities. This is where she gets.
The victim's account is particularly alarming because it suggests that this operation is well organized and possibly protected by law enforcement. She mentioned that the police and even the FBI were aware of the activities, but have done little to stop them. This level of corruption and complicity is reminiscent of the Epstein case.
The cops were in on it. She specifically said, without saying too much, the FBI knows. The first time that she's talking about this, she's never told a soul. She's so scared and frightened that someone's going to discover her identity.
Further investigation by the whistleblower revealed that the bar owner might be using his establishments as fronts for his illicit activities. Victims reported that drinks served at these bars were often spiked, leading to blackouts and vulnerability to the use of coated glasses with substances like GHB was also suggested as a method to incapacitate victims.
Much sense, because why are so many people in the comments, thousands of people, getting fucked up from a glass of wine or water or a juice or whatever? And that would make so much sense, because imagine...
The billionaire in question has been seen in the company of politicians and celebrities and is often lauded for his charitable work. This public persona contrasts starkly with the dark allegations against him, painting a picture of a man who is above suspicion and deeply entrenched in high society.
This particular billionaire has been seen photographed with politicians, celebrities, has been praised for the work that he's done in a lot of areas.
Despite the mounting evidence and numerous victims coming forward, the establishments involved remain open, and no significant investigations have been launched. The whistleblower expresses hope that this will be the year when the truth finally comes to light and justice is served. In a follow-up post, she mentions specific locations in Venice, such as the Venice waterfront, the bungalow, Venice Roosterfish, and the Venice Whaler. She alleges that bartenders at these establishments are involved in recruiting and drugging individuals, further entrenching this horrifying network. Enter Kanye West. In one of his most controversial statements, Kanye claims that Diddy is an FBI informant. For context, Kanye West, who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2016, claimed he was mentally misdiagnosed in early November last year. Following his return to Twitter in 2023 after previously being banned from the site over anti-Semitic comments, the rapper kicked off his usual nightly routine of calling out those close to him while sharing personal text exchanges. This time it was against his former personal trainer, Harley Pasternak, who is Jewish. What should be obvious by now is that I was raised to stand for my truth regardless of the consequences. So I will say this again, I was mentally misdiagnosed and nearly drugged out of my mind to make me a manageable, well-behaved celebrity, the rapper tweeted alongside a screenshot of his alleged conversation with the celebrity trainer. In the text message, Pasternak asked West to have a loving, open conversation with him based on fact. He also asked his former friend to refrain from cuss words or crazy stuff. However, Pasternak's next message changed its tune as he seemingly threatened to have West put back into a facility. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to Zombieland forever. Playdate with the kids just won't be the same. The text read, for context, Kanye West himself spoke out about the industry's dirty tactics. In a shocking revelation, he claimed that after exposing some of their secrets, he was forcefully given psychiatric drugs. Yes, you heard that right. Kanye confronted medical professionals about the excessive amount of lithium they wanted to prescribe him. Talk about a scandalous prescription pad.
I refuse to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
According to Kanye, had he succumbed to their pressure, he might not be alive today. He firmly believes that taking those medications would have labeled him as deeply troubled, overshadowing his incredible artistic contributions with mental health struggles. And guess what? Kanye even dropped some names, hinting that Britney Spears and the late Michael Jackson may have experienced similar situations with psychiatric medications. At first glance, it may appear as though the entire industry is against Ye, but in truth, it's just two elites who want to get rid of him. One of these people is Sean Diddy Combs. For context, rumors about Diddy being one of the shadiest and ruthless people in the music industry are nothing new. Ever since the 80s, Diddy has been at the center of numerous conspiracy theories surrounding his alleged involvement in the untimely demise of multiple artists and former business partners. Most notably, there's a long-standing theory that Diddy was involved in the elimination of hip-hop legend Tupac. Much like Kanye, Tupac also tried to expose the dark side of the music industry before he was eliminated. Not only was Pac outspoken about shady business practices and greedy executives in Hollywood, but he actively worked on helping others from falling victim to the industry. Former hip-hop video model and Aaron Hall's ex-girlfriend Gloria Velez claimed that she was almost sacrificed at a Hollywood party, but Tupac literally saved her life. Ever since Tupac's demise in a drive-by shooting in September 1996, there have been numerous conspiracies claiming that Tupac was eliminated because he wanted to expose the evil industry players, with one of them allegedly being Diddy. In October 2011, LAPD detective Greg Kading, who worked on Tupac's M case, claimed that the police had evidence that Diddy commissioned Crips member Dwayne Keefe D. Davis to take out Tupac for $1 million. Diddy was questioned about this during one of his appearances on The Breakfast Club, where he got defensive and dismissed it as nonsense. Despite such allegations, Diddy was never formally investigated. Detective Greg Kading explained in 2018 that Diddy had effectively used his lawyers over the years to insulate himself from interrogation. Interestingly, Kanye West reportedly expressed concerns that Diddy might conspire against him with the same people Kanye wanted to expose. This theory was recently reignited by Jaguar Wright, who claimed that Diddy also had a hand in the demise of his former associate Biggie Smalls, foreseeing that Biggie's catalog would be worth more after his demise. Now, you might be wondering, if Diddy has been doing such evil things, why hasn't he been apprehended yet? Well, Kanye West previously revealed that Diddy allegedly keeps some very powerful people on his payroll. It all started when news broke of Cassie taking legal action against Diddy for alleged SA and AB. At the time, TMZ spilled the tea that Diddy found himself in the crosshairs of a hush-hush NYPD investigation. The rumor mill went into overdrive, painting a picture of Diddy's purported connections with the Boys in Blue. However, as quickly as the rumor gained momentum, TMZ did a little backtracking. In a twist worthy of a Hollywood plot, they updated their report, claiming that the NYPD had clarified that no investigation was taking place. In fact, an NYPD spokesman said, a member of the NYPD's Public Information Office erroneously told a reporter about the apparent existence of an active case file containing the name Sean Combs. There is no such investigation at present. Further, the release of such information is not consistent with the internal policies of the Office of the Deputy Commissioner, Public Information. In October 2022, Kanye West shared text messages between himself and Diddy where he called the latter a Fed. The saga began when Kanye started speaking out against people who run Hollywood, and Diddy went on The Breakfast Club to say that Kanye was making unnecessary noise. At the time, the Donda rapper took to his Instagram with a series of posts showing fans the conversation he was having with Diddy and made it loud and clear he wasn't going to let his peer stop him from doing what he needs to. Ye continued to say he would be as quiet as his friend and late fashion designer Virgil Abloh, while also admitting he now knows how he's hurt people his loves with his threats. He then asked Puff to confront him. "Come do something illegal to me now, please," Kanye added. In the next post, Diddy seemingly responded to Kanye's invitation, telling him, "As soon as I land, we'll meet face to face. Send me an address." In a separate Instagram post, Ye then responded saying, "F you, you Fed." Diddy was then spotted in the comment section of that posting saying, "See you soon." At the time, one fan commented on this, saying, "Kanye Ye, West told us years ago that Diddy was a Fed, just like how Epstein was working for Mossad." Diddy's role involved gathering incriminating information on celebrities and affluent individuals participating in harmful and pedophilic behaviors at these creepy gatherings. Which intelligence agencies did Diddy work for? Jay-Z, Tom Hanks, Jimmy Kimmel, Prince Harry Russell, Simmons LeBron, James Jamie Foxx. These are all people who partied with Diddy, but haven't been accused of doing anything wrong as of yet. If Diddy was surveilling people, then these names are in big trouble. However, we must take into account the likelihood that the FBI will probably conceal these surveillance recordings. But why is this relevant? How does this tie into the Beyoncé and Jay-Z narrative? Kanye's claims might provide a clue as to why Jay-Z and Beyoncé have remained silent on Epstein's Island scandal. For context, nearly 200 mobile devices of people who visited Jeffrey Epstein's notorious P-File Island in the years prior to his death left an invisible trail of data pointing back to their own homes and offices. Maps of these visitations, generated by a troubled international data broker with defense industry ties, document the numerous trips of wealthy and influential individuals seemingly undeterred by Epstein's status as a convicted S offender. The data amassed by Near Intelligence, a location data broker roiled by allegations of mismanagement and fraud, reveals with high precision the residences of many guests of Little St. James, a United States Virgin Islands property where Epstein is accused of having groomed and T-ficked countless women and girls. Some girls, prosecutors say, were as young as 14. The former Attorney General of the U.S. Virgin Islands alleged that girls as young as 12 were T-ficked to Epstein by those within his elite social circle. The coordinates that Near Intelligence collected and left exposed online pinpoint locations to within a few centimeters of space. Visitors were tracked as they moved from the Ritz-Carlton on neighboring St. Thomas Island, for instance, to a specific dock at the American Yacht Harbor, a marina once co-owned by Epstein that hosts an impressive array of pleasure boats and mega yachts. The data pinpointed their movements as they were transported to Epstein's dock on Little St. James, revealing the exact routes taken to the island. The tracking continued after they arrived. From inside Epstein's enigmatic waterfront temple to the pristine beaches, pools, and cabanas scattered across his 71 acres of prime archipelagic real estate. The data compiled by Near captures the movements of scores of people who sojourned at Little St. James as early as July 2016. The recorded surveillance concludes on July 6, 2019, the day of Epstein's final arrest. 11 years earlier, the disgraced financier was sentenced to 18 months in jail after a guilty plea in 2008 for soliciting and procuring a young person engaged escort-related stuff, securing a secret sweetheart deal to avoid any federal charges. Renewed interest in the case, notably prompted by a Miami Herald investigation, spawned new charges against Epstein, who was apprehended at New Jersey's Teterboro Airport in July 2019. A raid of Epstein's Manhattan townhouse by federal agents yielded a cache of B material, nearly 50 individually cut diamonds, and a fraudulent Saudi Arabian passport, which had expired. He reportedly died by suicide a month later while incarcerated at the Metropolitan Correctional Center, a federal detention facility that closed shortly after Epstein's death. Ghislaine Maxwell, former British socialite and an Epstein accomplice, was convicted in 2021 on 5 counts, including T-fiking by force. Maxwell was arrested in New Hampshire, tracked to $1 million home by federal agents using location data pulled from her cell phone. Little is known publicly about Epstein's activities in the decade prior to his 2019 arrest. The majority of women who came forward that year to accuse the convicted pedophile in court say they were assaulted in the 90s and early 2000s. The guests to Epstein's Islands came from across the world and from the highest ranks of society, celebrities and scientists and members of royal families, touching down in a private jet and then boarding a helicopter to the island. Its owner liked to call it Little St. Jeff. The locals called it Pedophile Island. It was in the Virgins that Epstein registered as a S offender in 2010, following his first conviction for in 2008. He also based his shell companies in a small unmarked office in a seaside strip mall on St. Thomas, alongside a Sam's Mini Mart and a salon called Happy Nails. In 1998, he bought Little St. James from venture capitalist Arch Cummin via a shell company, reportedly paying just under $8 million. The new owner quickly scoured away all the native vegetation and replaced it with 40-foot palm trees. Starting in 2007, Epstein began a massive program of building and remodeling that drew suspicion from local officials. His main compound nearly doubled in size, sprouting into a plush mansion with an outside terrace connecting the master bedroom and the swimming pool, along with a desalination system. Satellite photos show a sprawling network of terraces, cottages, beach houses, swimming pools, docks, utility buildings, a helipad, a tennis court, slipways, some kind of enclosed lake or lagoon, and various huts of unknown purpose, all connected by palm-lined roads where golf buggies ferried guests from place to place. A journey across the island reportedly took about 5 minutes. At the other end from Epstein's manor is a squat, boxy blue and white striped structure, often referred to as a temple, surrounded by a terrace with a red labyrinth motif. It previously had a golden dome and 2 gold statues on its roof. In the days before his 2008 conviction, Epstein would visit Little St. James 2 or 3 times a month, staying several days at a time. One former employee described it as a Zen-like retreat where the financier would stroll around in flip-flops with meditative music playing from speakers and the women often sunbathing topless. There were always women, of course, frequently attractive, sometimes suspiciously young, on the arms of Epstein or one of his many guests, or sometimes ferried over in groups aboard a 38-foot boat called the Lady Ghislaine, reportedly after Epstein's longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell. The island had a staff of about 70, from groundskeepers and gardeners through laundry ladies to on-call boat captains. They wore black or white polo shirts and were sworn to strict secrecy, with instructions to stay out of Epstein's sight when doing their work. They were also forbidden to enter either of Epstein's 2 offices in the main manor, one of which housed a closely guarded steel safe. Of course, there were always guests. Among the famous names reportedly hosted by Epstein were theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking, Nobel laureate Lawrence Krauss, comedian Chris Tucker, Victoria's Secret magnate Lee Wexner, model Naomi Campbell, former Tony Blair aide Lord Peter Mandelson, and Prince Andrew of the United Kingdom. It has been claimed that Bill Clinton was also a guest, though he denies ever having been there. Donald Trump reportedly flew on one of Epstein's private jets, but it is unclear if he visited the island. The magician David Copperfield is even said to have proposed to supermodel Claudia Schiffer there. Guests would arrive on one of Epstein's Gulfstream jets at Cyril E. King Airport on St. Thomas, in a private area separate from the main runway. They would then be shuttled to Little St. James on one of Epstein's black helicopters. Epstein was fond of treating the guests, reportedly paying for a submarine to be modified to give a seabed tour to Professor Hawking, who had never been underwater before. One former employee described it as like a 5-star hotel where nobody paid. Authorities made several attempts to investigate Little St. James. As a S offender, Epstein was required to re-register every year, and officials did try to visit the island in 2018 to verify his address. But according to the Attorney General's complaint, Epstein refused the officers' entry at the dock, claiming it was his front door, and insisted on meeting them in his office on St. Thomas. He also made employees sign confidentiality agreements that banned them from talking to law enforcement and required them to report any inquiries to Epstein. Monitoring a S offender with his own private islands and the resources to fly victims in and out on private planes and helicopters represented unique challenges and allowed the Epstein enterprise to limit scrutiny, the complaint says. In addition, both Little St. James and Great St. James are protected areas due to their coral reefs and wildlife. Local planning officials suspected Epstein of exceeding his building permits, and the Attorney General's complaint says that he was fined thousands of dollars for breaking environmental rules. Yet that kind of money was nothing to Epstein. In any case, the victim's statements might just be the tip of the iceberg. As we continue to uncover more about Epstein Island, the elite's involvement, and the dark secrets they hide, one thing is clear: the truth is scarier than fiction. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.